Good day, BSE2 Math. So this is our discussion for projective geometry. Okay, so the mathematician thinks of Euclidean geometry as a very special case of more general geometries. So in this lesson, projective geometry is explained. So let's start. So when we say projective geometry, it formalizes one of the central principles of perspective art, that parallel lines meet at infinity and therefore to be drawn that way. So in projective geometry, to the word by the word itself, projection, it is based on the observer side. Okay. In ordinary analytic geometry, the projection of a segment onto an axis is used. So let's have an illustration in here. So as we can see, the projection of the line segment A and B is projected onto the x-axis by dropping perpendiculars A to A prime and B to B prime. Although the lengths of AB and A prime, B prime are not the same, in general, there is one-to-one correspondence established by the projection between points on the two segments. So here is the one-to-one correspondence projection, this one. So another familiar use of the word projective is the connection with a motion picture projector. We are all familiar with the projector, right? So let's say for example, meron tayong projector and then the light of the projector ay that is projected to the screen, it should be apparent that the pictures on the film and on the screen will be similar to each other, since the shape remains invariant while the size changes uniformly. Okay, so let's look on this one. So let's say this is the light coming from the projector. So let's think. And then when we are moving the projector backwards, it makes the picture bigger, right? So let's say the light and then the film tapos yung screen malaki siya. It looks like a triangle. So famous painters during the period of the Renaissance attempted to use the concept of perspectivity to make their paintings look more realistic. They knew that the position of the artist determined how the view looked, and they attempted to put on canvas what the eye actually saw. Okay? Artists talk about centers of perspectivity to show that the lines in a painting converge at a particular point that become the center of attraction. So a very famous painting is the Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci. So it shows with complete details in this picture. So let's say for example, if you observe a rectangular table top from a position to one side of the table, the top no longer looks rectangular. Similarly, a circle viewed from an angle no longer looks like circular, 'di ba? It depends on our perspective on the side of the looker. Let's say for example, kapag tumingin tayo, look at your table. So some of our table ang shape is rectangle, some of our table ang shape ay circle. So when we are looking on the top view of our table, it looks like circle, it looks like rectangle. But when we look on the other side, like let's say for example, yung one side sa left side, thus your table completely look rectangular pa rin or circular? 'Di ba? Hindi po. So again, it is just in the projective geometry. Lagi niyang tatandaan, the observer site is the important here. So projective geometry has been studied on the basis of its invariant properties under a group of transformation. So you should realize that projective geometry can be also studied using the same approach. Although historically the topic was not developed that way. So let us look on this picture. So it is important first to explain what is meant by projective transformation. So this figure shows perspectivities in the same drawing. So the point on line 1, we have here the line 1 and line 2 are the perspective with A as their center of perspectivity. The points line 2 and line 3 are perspective with point B on the center of perspectivity. And then we have here line 3 and line 4. They are not perspective. Instead, they are defined to be projective. From this point of view, a projectivity is considered a chain of perspectivities. Again, a projectivity is considered a chain of perspectivities. It depends on the observer side. So, in general, the points line 1 and line 4 are not perspective. Instead, they are defined to be projective. So, we have your definition. A projectivity is a finite sequence of perspectivities. In projective geometry, the invariant properties of a projectivity are studied. While it is not obvious which properties may be preserved, it should be evident that there is one-to-one respondence and that collinear points remain collinear even though distances and relative distances may change. So this intuitive discussion has introduced several of the basic concepts of projectivity. Although it grew out of ideas that are developed earlier, the first real context in geometry is from Chait, The Properties, the Figures by J.V. Poncelet. So it was published in 1822. Most of the work on this book was done by Poncelet. Poncelet was a prisoner in Russia after the wars of Napoleon. Other advances naman in projective geometry were made during the 19th century by Carl von Staudt, showed how projective geometry could be developed without the use of any metrical basis for measurement. And then we have here Felix Klein, which he gave projective geometry the prominent place it deserves in the classification of geometries in his Erlanger program of 1872. Since that time, postulate developments of projective geometry have been written and finite projective geometries have been introduced. So this is all about the introduction of projective geometry, its fundamental concepts, and somehow its history. So that would be all for this lesson. And then I will record another video for the next one. Also, I will give like a very short activity for this one. So if you have further questions, you can just PM me on our group chat or on my Facebook account and also on my Gmail account. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope that you have a very good day.